right? How often are we going to get Brock Purdy's in school long enough to have 48 starts? How often are we going to get there? If he's a redshirt sophomore, you're talking about 2 years, and he's got a chance to come out. So your evaluation, and this is where I rely on the people who do it really well. Good luck, guys. You got to do a little bit different evaluation because you're not going to get the rest of the evidence to come in. With him, you see all the flashes. Utah tape, you might take him in first quarterback. Kentucky tape, you're not taking him first quarter. Tennessee tape, he was really pretty darn good. I've seen him in the pocket where, in my mind, pressure, he turns into it instead of turning away from it. Other times I've seen him do a 360 and he's out the back door and he's still running. I've watched him throw in person. That bad boy comes off his hand like nobody's business. Like, I could do this all day long and you see nothing but effort. And he just whoosh, and that whoosh, and it's mesmerizing. Was his percentage all his fault? No. Didn't have the same receivers you normally get at Florida. But at the same time, there were inaccuracies. And to me, accuracy isn't just a completion. Okay? I'm throwing the check down on the swing. Am I putting it here so you catch it and keep running? Or am I making you turn? If I'm making you turn, that's inaccurate. I got a post safety. I need to stop you before you get there so I don't get you killed. If I throw it into that post safety and there's a collision, that's inaccuracy. Those are the things that we're looking for. And last thing, everybody who likes him will jump on Josh Allen. I get it, okay? Josh Allen was at 50-something%. He was 70% by his third year. Cool. Who else? He's still the outlier. He's still the outlier. So until we get more and more and more evidence, I still have to go back to, I'm going to improve, but that's a monster jump. That's off the charts.
Is Bryce Young too small for the NFL?
I don't think so. I do know this. When I was a kid, those quarterbacks walked through the door, you knew they came through the door. They were mastodons, man. Because back then, if I put a helmet in your back, that wasn't a penalty. I clubbed you upside the head with a fork. That wasn't a penalty. They were big, big people. Like when we sit those reunions, right? When Marino comes through the door and Jim Kelly comes through the door and Boomer Esiason and now Peyton and Eli. Whoa, those are big old cats. But with the rules being what they are, how we play the game now, I don't think he's too small. Tarkenton was small. He managed to make it. Russell Wilson a little more built up. Drew Brees a little bit more built up. That's probably a closer comparison. I think he's smart about what he does. I think he understands where things are. We'll find out. We've seen a lot of them take the hits. I mean, Jalen Hurts, their season almost went poof last year. He's pretty well put together.
Charles, is there a player that you think fans and people are overlooking in the draft in terms of the first round? Is there any player that comes to mind being overlooked?
I don't know. I feel like people are pretty well on it overall. I think that you'll have some guys, quarterbacks kick some guys down the board a little because if Hendon Hooker comes up, that's a spot that someone else could have had. I think you have some borderline guys. Brian Branch is going to be a guy people are going to debate. I think he's a first-round player. But running 4.58, does that kick him down a little? I think that the tight ends, Luke Musgrave has first-round potential, but right now he's probably a second-round guy. Corner from Kansas State, I really like a lot, Julius Brents. I really like him a bunch. I've heard some people kind of talk about that. And again, what does he look like? He's a Seattle corner because of the length and the whole deal. Maybe, possibly. I think he's a riser because I thought he got better during his career. So he might be the type of player that you look at and go, I want to put him in there.
And then if you're Brent Veach, let's say you're in the war room and you're wanting to trade up, what players are worthy to be traded that you can trade up for the Chiefs?
But what position is he going? Like, what does he want to have?
I would say either right now it seems like offensive tackle, wide receiver, and edge is big.
Well, if the run on tackles is going on, a Darnell Wright, you might be worth that, going up and getting him. If the run is going and Broderick Jones is still dangling out there, very much so, if you're talking about getting into this tight ends, I don't think you need to trade up. I think you'll get a pretty good value if you stick at 31. There'll be a tight end there for you. If there's a second runner, if you're in love with a second runner, I don't know that you get to 31. It might stop at 30 in Philly if they don't take Bijan at 10. It's gonna be fun to watch. I will tell you, this second year in a row I've said it. I have zero feel for this draft. Zero. Okay. Last year I punched in and sent it to my editor, my last mock draft. I said I have no feel for this draft. I sent it in this year. I said, I have no feel for this draft. You know what he said? You said that last year. I said, yeah, and I actually feel even worse this year because I just don't know how it's going to tumble out early.
Going back to the quarterbacks, C.J. Stroud, that S2 that you were talking about earlier, is that coming out now because of a team wanting him to drop?
Who knows what the motivation is? It could be somebody in a rival camp. It could be a team wanting him to drop. It could just be someone acquired the information. And you know what they say about having information? It's no fun if you can't tell someone.
Right.
If you can't get credit for having information, what's the sense in having it? So there's no telling why it's coming out. A lot of times we look at it for bad reasons.
Yeah.
I can't think of a good reason it would come out. I just don't know where it would come from and how it would leak. And then once it starts, then you get this happened at this place.
Yeah.
This happened at this place.
Yeah.
And now we're all chasing and did this or did this now. I don't know.
Well, we talked a couple weeks ago, and I said Will Levis. It was real quiet on him. Now all of a sudden he's the hottest thing going.
Hey,
Roller coaster.
if he were still in school, he could get NIL from Reddit, couldn't he? Like, I mean, this is just a whoosh.
Yeah.
And I know somebody called me yesterday, and I laughed, and they were like, no, you better check this. This is breaking.
Right.
And I was like, oh, it was.
Yeah.
Who knows? I still believe Bryce Young's going to be the first guy taken. Houston at 2 is the whole deal. Do we believe the smoke? I did in the mock draft. I woke up at 4:47 this morning and thought, if you're sitting at 2, why would you let someone else pick your quarterback?
Right.
So I feel I'm coming more and more towards Houston taking a QB at 2.
Feels like it. Final
Feels
one.
like it.
Anthony Richardson, you talked about him and his completion percentage and everything that he's got going on. With his work ethic, is that something that he can grow into?
Yeah, he can grow into it. I just don't want all of us to think that all of a sudden, like Josh Allen, we go 16 percentage points in 3 years. That is a jump that we've never had before. Like, if we've had it, I need someone to tell me who it's been and where. Never seen it. He's still the outlier. But can he get better? Sure, he'll have better receivers. He should get better and more accurate at what he's doing. Have you met him?
Yeah.
Great kid.
Great guy. Yeah.
He's the type of kid you spend 3 minutes with him, you believe in him, and you want to work with him. You want to be around
his Players
him.
Tribune that he wrote was fantastic.
He's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I love this young man.
Yeah.
And if I'm a coach, I'm in there jonesing. Give me this kid. Because if you make him more accurate and better, guess what?
Right.
You're better as a coach.
No doubt.
No one's turning that down.
Do you feel that this is the year of the DB in this draft? Because there's a lot of DBs that they have in this draft, all throughout the top 15 and everything like that. Do you feel like that's the premium position in this year's draft?
It's a big one. It's a big one. I think between corner, offensive tackle, because there's still some pretty premium guys there. Those are probably the top spots. Quarterback is just a whole different category. I didn't bother with that. But the corners are plenty of them. And what flavor do you like them coming off the board? Do you like Witherspoon over Gonzalez? You like Gonzalez over Witherspoon? You like Joey Porter, even though he has no ball production, but he'll beat you up running up and down the field? Are you into Emmanuel Forbes at 166 to 170 pounds? Is Keely Ringo, who started this whole process near the top of the food chain? We haven't talked about it in how many weeks, but boy, physically gifted, he is all that, and it just keeps going. You know, you can find them all over the place.
Your thoughts on Bijan Robinson? Do you feel he's the best running back in the draft, or is there somebody else that comes to mind?
No, he's the best, clearly, for me. I can say I can make an easy case he's the best player in the draft. Jalen Carter started that process there, but with everything that's going on, Bijan Robinson has so many different counts. Okay, recency count, Saquon Barkley. All of us have been around a little while, Edgerrin James. If I say LaDainian Tomlinson, contact balance, catch the football, run the football, stay on the field 3 downs. A lot of different counts. I think he's the legit deal. He's the real item. Like, McCaffrey's the gold standard for catching it. Because McCaffrey, when he came out, caught it better than any receiver. And he ran the route better than any receiver. Bijan's not quite him, but he's really good.
Do you buy that
takes him in number? Who does he fit? I know he's from Tennessee.
Listen, he starts, to me the conversation starts at 11 with Tennessee, 12 with Houston. You can make a case for 16 with Washington, a case for 23 with Minnesota, and he might go in the second round. It is all over the board. So